Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend. Lovely weather to be able to go out and keep safe, social distancing. So we are continuing our study of the Ethics of the Fathers. Very exciting. We are about to complete the first chapter this morning. Good morning to everyone that are still joining us. So the learning this morning is dedicated in memory of Leah Bas Bible, Tzivia Bas Mordechai, Avram ben David Slavin, Shlomo ben Yisrael Morris, Eliezer ben Shmuel Teret, Eliezer Shalom ben Avram Shmuel Beres, Sipora Feigele Bas Reuven Baruch, Shalom ben Eli Ali, Bena Bas Bible, Fruma Shoshana Bas Yaakov Shmuel, as well as those that have Yortzeit for Michael ben Yoshua Zelig, Chabib Bas Moshe, Miriam Leah Bas Yitzchak, Yitzchak ben Baruch, and Berna Bas Yitzchak Eliezer Silverstein. We wish each and every one of them and their respective families long life and only simchas. So, we are on the last Mishna in Ethics of the Fathers, the first chapter. So let's have a look at it. So it lays down a very, very important principle. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer. So we've already had Rabban Gamliel. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, as the name suggests, means he is the son of Rabban Gamliel. So Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Al Shlosha Dvarim Ha'olam Kayam. The world rests, the world exists, continues to exist with three things. Al Hadin, with justice, Val Emes, truth, Val Hashalom is peace. Shnema Emet Mishpat Shalom Yishiftu B'Sharechem. That means truth and justice and peace are for you to adjudicate in your gates. So let's have another look at this Mishnah. The obvious question that we all have when we saw this Mishnah is that we did mention that the world, we mentioned earlier towards the very beginning, that the world, there are three pillars that the world exists: Torah, Avoda, and Gemilas Chasodim. Torah, prayer, right, and kindness, acts of loving kindness. So what's the difference between the last Mishnah and one of the first? And the answer is that whereas at the beginning we were just speaking about the basis on which the world was created, when it comes to this Mishnah, we're discussing about what it is that justifies the world's continued existence. Now that may seem a very strange thing to all of you. You may be sitting there thinking, well, hold on, what do you mean the world was here yesterday and the day before and the day before that? So does it actually, it's natural, right? Yet the laws of nature are all put into place by the Almighty. So it's basically small miracles or big miracles covered up within the realm of nature. And we see for ourselves when, as it were, the rug is pulled from under us. You only have to look at the time of Noah, where there was institutionalized corruption, and what ended up happening. God said, the world's not going to continue to exist. I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to start over again. And even if you don't want to go to that extreme, I would argue that there are times in our history, arguably now is one of them, where the world is not existing the way it was intended, the way it should exist. And that is because certain key things are missing. And of course, I'm being rather controversial, but I don't mind it. We'll keep it just between ourselves. Have a look at this Mishnah again. There are three things that warrant the continued existence of this world. Number one, din, right? Justice. Well, is there really justice day in, day out in the world? That is what all the protests are about. That's how the whole of this George Floyd thing started off, because justice was not being carried out, executed by those in America, right? The enforcers of the law enforcers, were not doing their job correctly. So one could argue that there are too many miscarriages of justice. There is not trust in the authorities. And therefore, I would say that is why we have some of the issues that we have, and the world is not existing. We've got COVID, right? We find that the whole world is unraveling in front of our eyes. Many of the things that we used to take for granted are no longer a given. That's number one. Number two, ha-emes. Emes means truth. Right, so for the world to continue to exist, to be able to function, you need truth. Good morning, everyone that are still joining us. I'm not being rude, but I'm just continuing my train of thought, or trying to. So the second thing is truth. Is there really truth in the world? Are people really truthful? Are we all really truthful? Arguably, the world that we are living in now is where there has never been, in terms of the world as a whole, a greater world of sheker, of falsehood, where it's all about image rather than substance, right? We live in a PR machine where social media and everything, it's about what did somebody describe it? Smokes and mirrors, my good friend refers to it as. In other words, it's not about real, we're not looking within people, we're not looking at what really is occurring in the world, but it's all about the way things look. As long as you've got the right amount of views, as long as everything looks right to the outside world, that's what matters. Nothing could be further from the truth. The idea is that it's all about MS. It's about what a person is inside. It's about the way they're behaving. So often in life, we see that the people that we laud, the role models, are those that suddenly we find things about them in their past or things about them in their private lives that show them to be shakronim. They're liars, they're false. So if we want this world to function the way it should, God says you need to have truth within your rank and file. And the third thing is shalom, is peace. The fact that we are not killing each other does not mean that there is peace, right? In Israel, the fact that they are managing somehow to function day to day with stops and checks and hundreds and thousands of soldiers lining, all the checkpoints does not mean that there's real peace. The word shalom for peace, the root of the word is shin lamed mem, which means shalem, to be wholesome, to be complete. Would we actually say that our world feels a wholesome place where everyone is really looking out for each other? There were glimpses during the lockdown when we saw people being more altruistic and less egocentric and selfish. But I would say as a whole, we are still very much in it for ourselves. And there is not a genuine, sincere peace between all of us as a society and within our own lives as well. Too often we hear of inner fighting, tensions in families, God forbid, tensions between spouses. This has been one of the worst periods for shalom. I'll say it again. This current period that we are living in for COVID, it's true there weren't world wars, but I know, and any communal leader will tell you, that there is huge dissent. There is huge inner turmoil in people's lives and people's homes, between brothers and sisters and between family members. And if you can't relate to this, then you are blessed. But too often we are hearing about abuse. Domestic abuse has happened during this COVID. People feel trapped. They couldn't get out because of the law, but they needed to get out because of the passive aggressive behavior of spouses or members of their family. And therefore it is important, it is an imperative for us to take on board that these three things are what makes or breaks the continued existence of society. It's about din, justice, it's about emes, truth, and it's about shalom, wholesomeness and peace in our lives and in our world. And we hope and pray as we conclude this chapter of Ethics of the Fathers. We're now completing the first chapter of Ethics of the Fathers, and we're looking forward to learning the next one. And when we do, we say to ourselves the last words that we conclude every Agadic, every chapter such as this. Rabbi Hanania ben Akasha Omer, Rabbi Hanania ben Akasha used to say, Ratzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'zakis es Yisrael, that the Almighty wanted to give merit to the Jewish people. Therefore he gave us much Torah and much mitzvahs. And therefore Hashem desired, for the sake of the righteousness, that the Torah be made great and glorious. We should look at it in a way that Rabbi Hanani ben Akasha says, which is that the Torah and mitzvahs, Judaism, is not a noose around our necks, but it is life itself. It is the opportunity for us to be able to live meaningful, fulfilling life. If there's one thing that COVID has taught us, is that what we used to think was so important really isn't. And what we didn't treasure before, perhaps we treasure a bit more now. And yes, I know what you're all saying. Simon, Richard, Power, Helen, and everyone else who's watching, Michael and everyone else, you're all going to say to me, yes, but everyone will be up running to the shops today as all the shops are open today. It's so exciting to be able to get those things that we didn't manage to get for the last few months. We manage without them till now. We can manage without them for a bit longer. I'm not saying we don't need sometimes to go shopping, but there is this obsession around things rather than values. Let us treasure what is truly important in life. With that, we'll conclude. And now we will go on to learn it, to reciting Psalm 23. So it's a big mazel tov to each and every one of you. Mazel tov. We've completed another thing. We've completed the first chapter of Ethics of the Fathers. Well done to all 20 of you and those that can't make it today. Mazel tov, mazel tov. We look forward to moving on to chapter 2 tomorrow, and then please God, in a matter of weeks, we'll complete the whole of Ethics of the Fathers, and we'll have in our inside pockets renewed strength and the toolkit to be able to be better people, more fulfilled people, more wholesome people. Anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even when I walk in the valley of darkness, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You set a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. You anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord for the length of days. We wish long life to all those that have yortzites and those that are saying Kaddish, and will recite a memorial prayer. El Malay Rachamim Shochin Banramim Amasim Nochanochano Alkampeshkin Abamelos Kadeshim Matarim Kezaraki Masim Es Nishmois Leah Bas Bible Sivia Bas Mordechai Avram ben David Slavin Shlomo ben Yisrael Morris Eliezer ben Shmuel Teret Eliezer Shalom ben Avram Shmuel Beres Tipora Fegela Bas Reuven Baruch Shalom ben Eli Ali Ben Bas Bible from Moshe Shana Bas Yaakov Shmuel Michal ben Yoshua Zelig Chabiba Bas Moshe Miriam Leah Bas Yitzchak Yitzchak ben Baruch Raina Bas Yitzchak Eliezer Silva Shalachol Yolamon Began Aiden Taimanu Chasam Lachim Balrachamim Yasti Rain Besaisa Kanapab Yolamim Besochaim Idishmasam Adonai Nachlasam Beyanucha Beshlamish Gavam and Amar Amen. Long life to all those that would be saying Kaddish. Please God, we will be back in a few weeks' time, and people will have the opportunity to come to shul in a very specific way and with social distancing, say Kaddish safely. In the meantime, we conclude with a refuah shalema prayer for all those that are unwell. We have in mind in particular a terrible video that's going around on Facebook, which was of a man in Stamford Hill, from Chassid. Nobody knows why, but out of nowhere, he was attacked and stabbed multiple times in broad daylight, and people came to his rescue. But he is, of course, in a critical condition in hospital, and we wish him and everyone else a refuah shalema, and we will now recite the prayer. And those that, when we have the pause, you can recite the names of those that require a refuah shalema. Misha Berach, Avasenu Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, David, Shlomo, Yivarech, Rabbi Zacholim. Babu Shana Mispalim Baburam Bizchazak Baruch Yibali Rachim Alehem Lach Malafosam Bishlach Lehem Fushlim Nishma Lacholabim Besoch Shachor Yisrael Rafusa Nefesh Rafusakov Hashtavagas Makarev and Amar Amen. Wish long life to all those that have yortzeit or that are in the year. We wish everyone well. Keep safe, keep well. Tonight we have asked the rabbi, and we're looking forward later in the week to the mental health seminar. Part 1 is on Wednesday night, not to be missed at 8 p.m. on Facebook. Take care. Have a great day. Keep safe. Keep well.